Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 449. Spatial origin key. What? As soon as Old Man Chang's words left his mouth, it instantly caused a huge commotion in the profound crystal realm. Not only Xiaoyan, even Mahuyang and Lindao were shocked. Obviously, they didn't expect Kang Feng to be so fierce. The two men from the Glaze Academy only arrived a few minutes later than Xiaoyan and the other three men. Even if the four men from the Star Sky Academy came together, they wouldn't be able to eliminate Xuan Qingyi so quickly. In the Glaze Academy, Xuan Qingyi wasn't any weaker than Mahuyang in the Yunlo. Zhou Buyi's status in the Southern Domain and his strength were among the top of all the participants in the competition. It was really out of everyone's expectation that he would be eliminated as soon as he entered the competition. Outside the profound crystal realm, the onlookers were also shocked. From their observations, Xuan Qingyi and Kiara were suddenly attacked by Kang Feng the moment they entered the profound crystal realm. In a rush, Kiara and Xuan Qingyi did not even make any preparations. They could only release Origin Kiss to cover their entire bodies before they saw Kang Feng's figure flash. In a place like profound crystal realm where the flow of time was 10 times slower, everyone could only see an afterimage flash past. In the next moment, Kang Feng appeared beside Xuan Qingyi. In an instant, it was as if he had struck out hundreds and thousands of palm strikes. The light in the palms shone brightly. In the end, it turned into streams of dense black clear qi and blasted into Xuan Qingyi's body. The latter's delicate body trembled and she fainted in an instant. She was transported out of the profound crystal realm. Qingyi. Yi Xuan's expression changed slightly. With a flash, she arrived in midair and hugged Xuan Qingyi in her arms. When she saw the latter's pale face, she extended her trembling hand to touch her chest. When she sensed that the life force within her body was almost completely cut off, disbelief immediately appeared on her beautiful face. Clenching her teeth, Yi Xuan gently bit her red lips and returned to her original spot without saying anything. With a flip of her hand, a purple-colored medicine pill that emitted a strange fragrance appeared in her palm. She carefully stuffed it into Xuan Qingyi's mouth. Jade Spirit Profound Yin Pill. Su Jiang, who was standing by the side, immediately recognized the medicine pill that Yi Xuan had taken out. He frowned. He muttered to himself. This medicine pill was a genuine 6th grade medicine pill. It was considered to be at the peak of Tier 6. It had an extremely strong healing effect when one's life force was seriously damaged. Even for people of their strength, it was useful. However, the side effects were also extremely great. Unless it was absolutely necessary, no one would consume this medicine pill. My injuries are too severe. Yi Xuan did not raise her head and seemed to be talking to herself. Su Jiang heard it very clearly and his eyes became even more shocked. Yi Xuan had told him about Xuan Qingyi's strength these few days. She had said that she had the strength to fight even a peak of Monic Emperor warrior. Even if Kang Feng suddenly attacked, he would not be able to injure Xuan Qingyi in an instant. That kid is strange. Yi Xuan's beautiful eyes were slightly red. She gritted her teeth and looked at Xuan Qingyi's painful face. Her heart seemed to be bleeding. Su Jiang raised his eyes and looked over. Although Xing Chanyu was pleasantly surprised in the distance, it could be seen that the latter was also extremely shocked by Kang Feng's sudden display of strength. What a ruthless kid. His timing is perfect. This kind of combat awareness is not inferior to an Emperor cultivation warrior's. Among the crowd, there were many experts with sharp eyes. However, they were also shocked by Kang Feng's fierce attack. They were all amazed, and Zhou Yuan, who was standing in the distance, furrowed his brows. Even though he had combat experience that most of the people present had never had before, he was still amazed by Kang Feng. The flow of time in profound crystal realm was 10 times slower than in the outside world. Therefore, everyone in profound crystal realm could clearly see the movements of the people outside, but the speed that Kang Feng displayed just now still shocked many people. While everyone was exclaiming about Kang Feng's strength, someone looked at the profound crystal realm and exclaimed, instantly attracting everyone's attention. In the profound crystal realm, Kang Feng had a surprised expression on his face. The black key in his palm was fluctuating, and he was looking forward with a cold gaze. There, Kiara was gasping for breath. On her delicate face, there was a determined look. Extending her arms, the origin key around her. It was an extremely unusual grayish color. The grayish origin energy transformed into numerous ripples. It enveloped him and actually temporarily blocked Kang Feng's black clear key. This is a spatial origin key. A black light flashed across Kang Feng's eyes. He mumbled to himself and frowned. Then, he sneered. Although it is powerful, the user's ability is still too weak. There is nothing to be afraid of. Whoosh! He gently raised one hand and the origin key that filled the sky crazily surged over. It was as if 10,000 Buddhas were roaring towards the sect from all directions. Within Kang Feng's palm, a frightening black clear key was like a deep space as it slowly flowed and absorbed all the origin kiss that had rushed over. In the blink of an eye, an indescribable black light blade had already formed in his palm. This black color was so deep that it penetrated one's bones. At a glance, one's heart trembled. The enormous power contained within it caused the hearts of Shang Shaoshan and the others, who were standing not far away, to tremble. What kind of technique is this? A look of shock appeared in Shang Hao's eyes as he muttered to himself. In his impression, although Kang Feng's strength was amazing, he had never grasped such an amazing monic skill before. He even had a strong feeling about it. If he was hit by this black light blade, he would most likely die instantly. Shi Kanghai was also trembling with fear. He had never felt this kind of power from any of the Imperial Dao elders in the academy. Shang Shaoshan's expression was solemn, and he clenched his fists tightly. At this moment, what he thought of was not the academy. If Kang Feng really had such strength, to the Shang clan, he would be a huge threat in the future. Although the Shang clan had the tyrant Heavenly King body, Shang Yu, the latter was in the battle domain. He had never cared about the matters of his family, and Kang Feng had suddenly emerged from nowhere. In the long run, it was not a good thing. Kiara raised her head and looked over. When she saw that Kang Feng was ready to use the monic skill, her already pale face became even more serious. She gently bit her teeth and her 10 fingers quickly formed a seal. The gray origin key that surrounded her body seemed to have a spirit of its own as it wrapped around her delicate body layer by layer. If one looked closely, they would find that she had actually disappeared from where she stood. Disappeared. It didn't disappear at the maximum speed, it really disappeared into the spatial zone. How is that possible? She's only a monarch, emperor level. How could she possibly comprehend the spatial force that only Heavenly Sovereign Expert can master? Everyone in the outside world was shocked when they saw Kiara disappear. Their voices were filled with disbelief, and they were even more shocked than when they saw Kang Feng's strength. This is her ability. Su Jiang was also stunned. He said with a shocked expression. That's right, a spatial origin key is rare even in the ancient era. Yi Xuan carried Xuan Qingyi with a calm expression. They were outside the profound crystal realm, so they naturally couldn't feel the sharpness of the black light blade unleashed by Kang Feng. Spatial attribute. Unbelievable. Su Jiang nodded silently. Everyone's origin key had different attributes. The most common ones were the 5 elemental origin kiss. Lightning, ice, and other attributes were rare. It was also very common for everyone. As for the spatial attribute origin key, it was extremely rare to possess such an origin key. Even if one had not reached the Heavenly Sovereign, they would still have more or less grasped some spatial energy. It was enough to easily defeat experts of the same level. In the distance, Old Man Chang and the others had stunned expressions. It was a long time ago before they slowly exhaled. Their expressions were complicated, and it was unknown what they were thinking. Using spatial strength in front of me is extremely laughable. Kang Feng's expression did not change when he saw Kiara disappear. He did not care about it at all. The corner of his mouth lifted into a cold smile. Immediately, his eyes narrowed. Black clear ki surged within his eyes, forming a black spiraling black shadow that seemed to have shattered the void. I've found you. Kang Feng smiled lightly. He stretched out his palm and waved it. A whistling sound of wind was heard from his palm, and a black blade of light was about to be swung out. All of a sudden, Kang Feng frowned, and his body swayed. In the next moment, a long spear ruthlessly pierced through his chest. Lindao stepped on the empty air and slowly appeared behind him. Swoosh! Kang Feng, who had been pierced by the long spear, trembled. After which, he turned into a shadow and disappeared. Lindao raised his eyebrows and the air under his feet shattered. He had already swiftly dodged. Are you from the Yunlo Academy so impatient to die? When Lindao returned to the middle of Shaoyan and the others, the void in the distance shook. Kang Feng's figure slowly appeared. At the same time, his cold voice echoed. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.